When you think about chocolate, which brand comes to mind? Chances are it's probably Cadbury, a world-renowned chocolate brand for over 200 years. Today, I'll be analyzing the factors that influence the pricing of Cadbury's most beloved product, Dairy Milk chocolate, and how these factors will change in the future. This is the economics of Cadbury Dairy Milk. The first set of factors that currently influence pricing are demand factors. Demand factors essentially show the popularity of the product, which in this case is Dairy Milk chocolate. Factor 1. Tastes and preferences. Cadbury chocolate has been around for over 200 years, with Dairy Milk being invented in 1909. It was the second product made by Cadbury and has been very successful, currently available in over 30 countries. However, 66% of consumers in the UK don't prioritize the brand name when buying chocolate and just want the signature taste of chocolate in general. Additionally, on a recent study done on Statista, 21% of customers value low price over high value, and 34% of participants say they enjoy trying out new chocolate products, which doesn't necessarily mean they care about a specific chocolate and might want more variety. This decreases demand, leading to a shift to the left on the demand curve. Factor 2. Advertising. With so many chocolates available for purchase, companies like Cadbury need to work hard to ensure their products are top of mind when people are at the point of purchase. Creative advertising is an important lever companies use to ensure that people are thinking about their products. Many advertisements for Dairy Milk have done very well in the past, with the drumming gorilla winning TV Commercial of the Year in 2008. Many other Dairy Milk ads, all sharing the motto, "a glass and a half," have also performed well. Due to this increased awareness, demand increases, shifting the demand curve to the right. Factor 3. Substitutes. The chocolate category is vast, with many different options available for consumers who enjoy chocolate and sweet treats. Snickers and Mars bars are examples of close contenders to Dairy Milk, and for some, they are preferable. A recent study showed that 72% of respondents who consumed chocolate in the past year had consumed Cadbury chocolate. Whilst this was the most consumed brand of chocolate, Dairy Milk is only one of many Cadbury products, so it doesn't dominate the confectionery aisle, and consumers have lots of options when purchasing. Due to this high competition, the demand curve shifts to the left, so demand decreases. Overall, with unfavorable tastes and preferences, high competition, but effective advertising, the aggregate effect still leads the demand curve to shift to the left. The second set of factors that influence pricing relates to supply. Supply factors show the quantity a seller is willing to sell at a specific price. Factor 1. Technology. The technology used in Cadbury's factories has a positive impact on improving efficiency and enhancing quality. There are many innovations that have achieved these goals, such as using AI to adjust to consumer preferences or automation using machines to speed up production. These technological advances benefit almost all chocolate brands, and due to efficient and fast technology, this increases supply, shifting the supply curve to the right. Factor 2. Natural factors. We are currently in a period where cocoa bean supply is at an all-time low. This is because of various natural factors, such as a recent virus known as swollen shoe, a prevalent disease in many cacao-rich areas in West Africa. The main countries being affected by this are Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Nigeria, which collectively are responsible for 62% of the world's cocoa production. This affects Cadbury and chocolate production because cocoa is an essential ingredient in making chocolate. To put this into perspective, Dairy Milk contains 30 to 35% cocoa solids in one chocolate block. Due to low availability of natural resources, this decreases supply, shifting the supply curve to the left. Factor 3. Costs of production. Cocoa bean prices have reached an all-time high, $12,197 per metric ton. This has never happened before, and nobody was able to predict it. This represents a massive increase from 5 years ago in 2019, where the price was only $2,400. It's primarily due to swollen shoe, an curable disease affecting cocoa trees. There hasn't been enough cocoa production to meet global demands, with predictions of 700,000 tons less than next year than the previous season. Due to these high costs of production, supply decreases further, strengthening the leftward shift of the supply curve. Overall, with efficient and fast technology, low availability of natural resources, and high costs of production, the supply curve will shift to the left, decreasing supply. The price elasticity is a measure of how much the quantity demanded changes to a change in price. These factors determine the elasticity. Availability of substitutes. There are many substitutes to dairy milk chocolate, such as Hershey's and Kit Kat. You can find all these chocolates in supermarkets, so overall, there are many available substitutes, making dairy milk very elastic in terms of demand. Addictiveness. Many people have a strong desire for chocolate, which can be seen as a treat or a habit, making consumers less sensitive to price changes. Chocolate is also an impulse purchase, and many people buy it when shopping, especially right before leaving the supermarket. However, when people see a variety of chocolate options, they don't necessarily want dairy milk specifically, but might just crave a chocolatey taste. Therefore, despite some addictive qualities, demand remains elastic. Due to the wide availability of substitutes, demand for dairy milk is elastic overall. The price elasticity of supply is a measure of how responsive the quantity supplied is to a change in price. These factors determine the elasticity. Availability of raw material. The supply of chocolate doesn't respond quickly to price changes because it relies heavily on cocoa, a crop that's slow to grow and only thrives in specific regions. Around 60% of the world's cocoa comes from Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire, where cocoa trees take around 3 to 5 years to mature. That means even if chocolate prices do rise, farmers can't instantly grow more cocoa to meet demand. This makes the supply of chocolate inelastic. It can't increase much in the short term. For example, in 2024, cocoa prices soared due to poor weather and crop disease, yet chocolate production barely changed because there simply wasn't enough raw material to scale up quickly. Ability to store goods. The ability to store dairy milk chocolate makes its supply relatively elastic. Chocolate is non-perishable, meaning it can be stored for long periods of time. This gives Cadbury the ability to adjust to increased demands without immediately increasing production. However, there are still limitations, as production ultimately depends on the availability of raw material. In conclusion, due to limited cocoa availability, despite the capacity to store goods over a long period of time, supply is relatively inelastic overall. In conclusion, several forces will impact dairy milk's future pricing. Demand is likely to shift left due to changing consumer preferences and high competition, despite effective advertising. Supply will also shift left, primarily due to cocoa scarcity and disease affecting production. While demand is becoming more elastic with increasing substitutes, supply is becoming less elastic due to raw material constraints. The cost of cocoa, reaching unprecedented highs of $12,197 per metric ton, will be the main driver of price increases, though these increases will likely be moderated as consumers continue to prioritize affordability. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your chocolate.